finally, it's that time to welcome our guest. As we stated earlier, we'll be looking at performance art because everything we do is a performance, whether intentional or unintended. And our guest is very well versed in that topic. She holds a national degree in a Bachelor of Arts in Motion Picture, honors as well. She's a live performer, an actress, a poet, a director, a stage performer, and a playwright with a knack for nuance and detail. From the quiet suburbs of Kabiga Park to national TV screens, she's an overachiever and she's also a dear friend of mine. Welcome, Asiphezi Jita.
Oh, wow. What an introduction. Hello to you too there.
Yes, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you for having me.
All right, so let's jump right in. The first question I have for you today is tell us how you came about discovering your love for performance.
I love this question because it gets me to speak about my dad. He was my inspiration for what I actually studied, my love for performance. My father is a reverend. So I grew up in the church. So as a young kid, I'd always watch my dad, because you just said everything is a performance, right? And that's what I started noticing. Every time I'm at church and I'm watching my dad deliver a sermon, like I would just watch how he engages with people and how he engages with the congregation. And for me, that was a performance. So I'd get home and then I would action. And then I would do exactly what my dad was doing in front of the congregation. And it kind of became a performance for me, I'd always listen to like older people talking and listen to their tea and their gossip and everything. And then I would go to the elder people or my siblings and I'd go action. And then, so it's always been a love for watching other people and then, just performing it myself.
Beautiful.
Yes.
And besides older people being your inspiration, what other inspirations do you have? Tell us about what your sources of inspiration are.
Now that one. My source of inspiration, I actually don't consider myself as an actress, right? I prefer storyteller. I prefer storyteller, and that's where I draw my inspiration mostly from. I love interacting with people. I love watching people. I love engaging with people, with children, And for me, it's just listening to people's stories, And some people don't even realize that they're telling a story, They think they're just having a conversation with you. But if you have the knack or you have the ear and you really believe in human connection and, human interaction, for me, my inspiration is those people that don't think they have a story. It's giving them a voice, giving them a platform, and that's what I draw inspiration from.
Beautiful.
Just telling stories, authentic stories, the real South African stories.
Beautiful.
Yes.
Beautifully said, Asiphezi.
Thank you.
And the second last question, before we head into the second segment of our interviews,
yes,
we want to know actually what are the two biggest lessons you've learned as you're becoming an industry veteran yourself, showing up on national TV screens. That's quite an achievement. So what are some of the lessons, two of them, that you've learned? Yeah.
Well, lesson number one is that talent is not everything. Many people you hear about, so-and-so is so talented, so-and-so is so talented. But if you don't actually nurture your talent, if you don't feed your talent, if you don't draw inspiration from other people, then that talent can become wasted, Hard work beats talent any day. That's what I've learned. Hard work beats talent any day, clean. Like there's no doubt about that. So talent is not everything. That's number one. Number two, you need to save.
Right.
You need to save. The entertainment industry is very fun. It's very fast. There is money, right? But as quick as that money can come into your account, that money can leave. you know. So if you're not financially literate, yes,
That's right.
if you don't have your financial literacy, if you don't save for the rainy days, you are going to struggle. And when it's quiet, because you know we go to auditions, you go to casting calls, you know, you try to put your foot in different aspects of life and in the entertainment industry, and sometimes the jobs are there, you get booked, and then sometimes it's quiet. So what are you doing, and how are you sustaining yourself as a young person, as a creative, you know, because it's easy to lose momentum or lose inspiration,
That's right.
especially when you're not getting booked. So talent is not everything, number one. And number two, you better save. You better save for those rainy days. Yes, those
incredible,
are my two.
incredible, Asiphezi. You heard it, folks. Asiphezi Jita has spoken, and we're totally inspired. Miss Jita, wonderful to have you with us. So the other question I have for you is, tell us more about Matilda. What were your references for that character, and how did you manage to bring it to life?
Oh, first of all, I just want to say shout out to my girl Matilda Otilili. I don't think I will ever be able to shake her off my identity ever. It doesn't matter what I do, it doesn't matter where I go. I don't think I will ever be able to shake her off, because she was my first debut on television. But she was definitely everyone's friend. She was definitely everyone's friend. People on social media would always be like, I want to have a friend like Matilda. You should have a friend like Matilda.
Definitely.
She was very warm, understanding. She wasn't a jealous girl, you know. She was a people's person, and for that character, mind you, I am not from PE. I'm not from, yes, I'm not from PE. I'm not from Gqeberha.
Where are you from?
I'm from the Transkei. I'm from Kutsolo, the same city as Zozibini Tunzi.
Look at that.
You know? So for me, again, I draw my inspiration from those who do not have a voice. So when I saw Matilda, I thought to myself, okay, they say she's a girl from the rural areas or from the rural village. So I just started looking at the people around me. My mom is from Ekunu, my dad is from Kutsolo. We always go home to the Transkei. So I would watch the girlies in my hood, and I'd be like, oh, so that's what Matilda is. Oh, this is how Matilda dresses. This is how Matilda would interact. It wasn't a specific person that I had looked into to draw inspiration for Matilda's character, but instead looking at all the girlies in my rural village, you know, because they are very vibrant. You know, sometimes I would not fight with wardrobe, but sometimes I would be like, you guys are really trying to make Matilda look like she doesn't have a fashion sense. But the girls in the rural areas, like Transkei, they are the girls that actually have the most fashion. You know, they're fashion forwards. They know how to dress. They know how to do their own hair, you know. So it was just really me trying to put them on the map, to put them on the screen, to give them a voice, you know, because we always see the city girls, but what about the rural girls?
Very interesting, very interesting. And speaking about that, because you speak a lot about drawing inspiration from your surroundings, do you have any other techniques or methods outside of Matilda that you utilize to tap into your characters? Because you're also a stage performer.
Yes, I am.
So on stage, besides the screen aspect of your performance, on stage, when you want to get into and develop a character, do you have other techniques or methods that you use?
You know, acting is quite a tricky. It's quite a tricky field to be in, right? So I am also an educator, by the way.
Indeed.
So as an educator, I always tell my students that we do not tell stories just because you want to tell a story. We don't write movies, we don't write poems just because you want to write a poem. There always has to be a source, You know, there always has to be where it comes from, right? And I always say the camera, I know you asked about stage, but I always say the camera always picks up the truth. If you are being unbelievable, like if you're doing something that is not authentic, if you're acting, the camera will see. Like sometimes when you watch someone, you're like, this one is acting, you know. So I always say you have to fully immerse yourself into a character.
Beautiful.
So before you can do that, you need to strip away the ego. So a technique for me is it's living in the moment. It's method acting.
Beautiful.
You know, method acting is also very, very tricky because people don't understand. When you say method acting, they just throw it out there, method acting. But when you're doing method acting, you really you start living like that person.
Indeed.
You know, you start, if there's a specific diet, you need to prepare yourself. You need to prepare the body.
Yeah.
So, for example, if I'm playing a vegetarian actor,
Okay.
your character, I would try to give up my own dietary needs or whatnot, your preferences, and try living the life of a vegetarian, you know. So really stripping, you always have to strip yourself of your ego.
Wow.
You have to strip yourself of yourself, you know.
That's a
and
good one.
Of yourself, you know, because if you're acting with the ego, I'm going to say, I don't want to wear that because it doesn't look flattering, but it's not about you. It's about the character. You know what I mean? So you just have to strip away yourself. Stop thinking about yourself as a star, you know. You need to be bare. Like, and on stage, I always say, you have to be barefoot. Because if I walk on stage in my shoes, already I'm me, you know. So just giving yourself the moment of ridding yourself and giving that character a voice and a platform.
Beautiful. Wow,
Yes,
that is actually
yes.
incredible. Ms. Jita, before we let you go, I have one last question for you.
Yes.
So what keeps you grounded, actually, through all the hurdles? Because you are a superstar right now. You are well-renowned in our country. So we want to know what keeps you grounded, what keeps you humble, and what keeps you focused in all of the distractions and all of the noise. What is it that keeps you grounded?
This is a very interesting question for me because for most of the time, I feel like I don't have a grip on life. Like I always feel like I'm just floating away.
Okay.
Or I feel like I can't navigate myself. Because being an actor, you also, as I said, you have to strip yourself of yourself.
True.
Right? And that is also, it can be difficult at times as well. Because sometimes I feel like I've lost my identity as Asiphezi, you know? And I feel like every time people want to see Matilda, but I'm like, I'm not Matilda, you know? So for me, what keeps me grounded is family.
Wow. Beautiful.
Knowing that I can always go back home, knowing that I can always go, yeah, it's nice to have friends, right? But family. Because friends,
True.
friends, you can be rooting for your friends, but everyone wants to win. Everyone wants to shine. Everyone wants to be the star,
That's
you
right.
know? And that can also be a tricky space to navigate.
Yes.
But family is forever.
Family is forever.
So family really keeps me grounded. And obviously, I said my father is a reverend. You know, I grew up in the church. And as much as I try to develop my own identity, I know the values that have been instilled in me. I know the
Beautiful.
teachings of my parents.
Yeah.
So I always try to always go back to family.
Family is a good one. Family is a beautiful
Yes.
anchor.
Yes.
That's right. That's Miss Asiphezi Jita. I hope you're having a blast with us. Asiphezi, you are
Yes.
truly a wonder to behold, my friend. Thank you for putting through and sharing your professional expertise. If you would kindly actually impart some words of encouragement and wisdom to upcoming performers who want to break out into the industry for the first time, what would you say to them?
First of all, if it's your passion, if when you close your eyes and you're sleeping, you think about it, you dream about it, you're hungry for it, then don't let anyone tell you otherwise. Don't make the mistake that I did,
Absolutely,
you know.
absolutely.
So if someone says you're a bit crazy for believing in your dream, okay.
Okay.
Okay, it's fine. But don't let anyone tell you otherwise. That's all. I don't even want to be deep about it. That's all I want to say.
You heard it, folks. That was Miss Asiphezi Jita right here on Reverberate. Be sure to join us next week for amazing vibes and interesting conversations on literature and everything about the South. Be sure to join us every week at 2 p.m. This is Buhle Rwaxa. Peace.